Hola, amigos, and welcome back to another episode of La Vida Verde podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Human, here at Finca Vida Verde. My guest today is Carlos Sansaloni. He is nothing more than a simple idealist neighbor. This is how he identifies, and this is how he wanted to be announced. We're going to have a great discussion about Buddhism and community. It's going to be a beautiful discussion. This man emanates happiness, so stick around. We hope you enjoy. Carlos Sansaloni, welcome to the podcast. Thank you, brother. I have I have a whole lot of things prepared for most of my guests, and for you, I was saying I don't have very many things because I know I know your story a little bit, and but I also know that spontaneity and being in the present moment is part of your thing. So we're just gonna flow with it here.
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you. Thank you for coming. And I wanted to have you on the podcast because I know, we'll get to, obviously, I know you as being kind of one of the leaders, local leaders in our Buddhist kind of community, people pushing, or offering Buddhist, opportunities to learn and to meditate together, and I love that. So I want to talk about that. Maybe we usually start with a little bit of like history. So when you talk a little bit about what you grew up in Spain.
Yes. Well, I grew up in Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Yes.
In the city.
In the city, well, close to the city. I born 41 years ago in Barcelona city, and well, nothing remarkable to talk about of this time of the life over there.
You had both your parents, normal childhood, two parents.
Yeah, kind of.
No divorce.
Let's say, yeah, divorce but well, the life over there, I was not finding anything that like an example of the type of life that I want. So I was looking for examples everywhere, and I didn't find anything really meaningful. No, like people was experiencing happiness and then suffering. Friends divorcing. After a family working for 30 years in a company and getting fired, problems with the child, and I was not finding any example. So I just thought I'm going to go out there to see if I can find something that I can rely, and say, okay, at this I like it.
So you were on a bit of a search to find something with more meaning.
Yeah, lasting, kind of.
Lasting.
Because if it's not lasting, you cannot rely really in anything, no? And
lasting, and when you say that, you mean lasting like happiness.
Yes.
Ultimately, that's your
yes.
That's what your goal.
Or from the Buddhist perspective, enlightenment.
Enlightenment.
Yes. And it's curious because with no knowing about it, in my mind was a lot of enlightenment. No, I want to go after enlightenment, but this was creating a lot of friction with everything in my life, with the work, with the family, with the parents, with the money, because I thought that this is just only one way to go. No, like renouncing everything and in some moment I just decided to quit the job, quit the house where I was living.
How old were you when that happened?
12 years ago, 29 years.
Okay.
Yes.
So you had a pretty like normal, you had a kind of a career and a life.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It was like and I don't know, in the age of 20, 19, this spirituality born inside of me, and then I start to look for the meaning, and I didn't find the meaning, and then I say, okay, I go somewhere else to see if I find something that I can really rely on and I can use.
So, and then at 29, you had this kind of like, I'm going to follow a new path, start a new journey.
Yes, and I start for the best place, New York.
New York City.
A lot of confusion.
Yeah, okay. Well, why New York City?
Well, we was having an idea of a project to try to create an impact And then we thought New York is the place for a start.
Who's we?
Because I started to travel with my best friend in these times. Yeah. And then we thought, okay, let's start from New York, and maybe there is a good place to start this project and we can create an impact, like
What was the what were you? Yeah. So what was it? What were you? What was the project?
a project is something called thinking moment.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That now, if I do something, maybe I think about Dharma moment, and maybe one day I will do it. So I will keep the expectations the people who see the video.
No, but okay, got it. Okay.
But it's really good, by the way. I describe it in a way like it is like a kind of a tool that life can use to talk to the people.
Okay.
Yeah, that's this.
No. Okay. A tool to reach people.
Mm.
Something
For the life to talk to the people.
for the life to talk to people.
Yes.
The life.
Yes.
For the life of what? What life?
Yeah, this can be a little bit like
Philosophical.
it is a kind of philosophical, but it's like for example the tarot cards. You throw the cards and then you receive a message. Okay, kind of.
Okay. Somewhat of an oracle or a way for the unseen to speak.
Kind of. Yes.
Okay, that
yes.
makes sense. I can
Yes.
understand that.
You you sometimes open a book and then you read something that is exactly what you need.
Yeah.
Related with this.
This is interesting because this conversation of like coincidence and synchronicity and keeps coming up, like it's like the many times in the last couple of days. Like I had a whole conversation and I was just like, it was a coincidence, and somebody was like, I was talking to Joy and she's just like, there is no such thing as coincidence. Do you believe in coincidence?
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
What do you mean? You believe in nothing at all?
No, I don't believe in coincidence at all.
You don't believe in coincidence. Everything is synchronistic.
Yeah, everything has a cause and has an effect.
Uh-huh.
And this is science.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in the conditional world, in the materialistic world, it has a cause.
Nothing is there's no chaos.
No, there is no causality.
It's all organized.
There is not causality.
Okay.
The point is like like this causality is not like you do something and immediately you experience the results of your action. Sometimes it takes time. But clearly, if one do good, normally you experience good things. If you do bad things, you experience sulfur. And this is, cause and effect.
Right. That's how I've always kind of related to the Christian philosophy of heaven and hell. It's like, there's some, obviously the main Christian people will believe that like when you die, you go to heaven or you go to hell and you get judged. This whole story. For me, it's always made a lot more sense that like it's just actually if you do good, you experience good. If you do bad, you experience bad. It's actually not something that happens after you die. It's something you're experiencing in this moment.
And also when you die.
And also when you die.
Exactly. Because
Okay.
it's a kind of a continuity. And this is from a Buddhist perspective.
Karma,
like
karma follows you basically.
And because, from a Buddhist perspective, and by the way, I am just a practitioner, I am not a teacher,
Sure.
And I am just an idealist, a friend of everyone, and who wants to meditate together and we do it together, And if I am, I don't know, like keeping the activity in Ecovilla or in San Mateo, it's just because I have a little bit more of experience, not because I am a teacher.
Yeah, of course.
Okay?
No,
but from a Buddhist perspective, when they talk about consciousness or mind, we say that, like actually if you try to find consciousness or mind, you cannot find anything because it has no shape, it has no color,
Right.
You cannot see where it is.
Right.
So you cannot affirm that exists. Okay? But at the same time, you cannot affirm that doesn't exist at all. Because it's something looking through our eyes and listening through our ears right now that has no shape, no color. And this, from Buddhism perspective, they describe it like a space. That is some space that is looking through our eyes and listening through our ears right now.
Space.
space, emptiness, space, And actually, this is really interesting because science proves that all the material world that we are experiencing as something solid is 99.99 space.
Hmm.
And this is really interesting, But this space has like one quality, that is this conscious. It has consciousness. So it's a space that is able to see things, work with things, manipulate things. And then we create all this, we create, like cities, cars, we create everything because we are experts in this kind of external illusory world.
Mm-hmm.
It's thanks to this consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
But when this consciousness look itself, this is self-liberated. It has the capability to achieve enlightenment when the conscious look inside. And this is what everything is Buddhist about.
Mm-hmm. It's about using your consciousness to see itself. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
To using that same external force to do as much for your internal world as you do for the external.
Let's say.
Okay, I like that. It's a great explanation. Okay. And you so you're married, Anna, a beautiful Polish woman. You have 2 kids. You raise them? Is Anna also into
Yeah, we practice both
the whole
Buddhism.
family?
Yeah, we meet in a retreat center in Spain, in the south of Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Our child born in the Buddhist center in San Jose.
Uh-huh. In Costa Rica?
Yes, in
I
Costa
didn't know there
Rica.
was a Buddhist center here.
Yeah, in Escalante.
Okay.
And we travel many times, all the time. We travel to the courses in Europe, and we keep the activity here, and she holds the space, and I keep the activity.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I met both of you. It's funny because I ended up I have some kind of dharma with you guys because we did like this it was like a get to know your neighbors kind of thing. It was randomized, and I ended up the first person I think I matched with was you, and it's like a 5-minute ask questions, and then the next person I got was your wife.
Yes,
It was
yes.
just like. So I got to know you guys kind of a little bit that way. And thank you, by the way. I have to thank you. Last year, when I needed some support, you really showed up in a big way, and I just love that you just give from your heart, and I could tell. And when I needed, I was like, yeah, I kind of want to see it. You're like, don't worry, bro. There's no problems. It's nice to see you. A good. It's inspiring.
Thank you.
Yeah, because we were just talking with Carlotta not long ago about people giving from their heart versus giving with the desire to receive, and kind of the difference of how much much more beneficial it is to be in a community with people who are giving from their heart, and then the concept of boundaries came up. So this is what came up for me, was like the idea of like, but if you give too much, then you end up overgiving, or you feel taken advantage of, or
I think that this can be relative, and every perception is individual, and for some people yes, and for other people maybe no. And from our perspective that match completely with the Buddhist perspective, it is. Like when you think in yourself, and this my teacher all the time say, you have problems. When you think in others, you have things to do. If you think in yourself, everything is limited. You small, me. If you think in others, like it's full of potential everywhere. And this is a place when one can experience that.
It's a really great reminder. Just that little piece right there. I think there's gonna be a lot of little sound bites in this one that I'm gonna be like, wow, take that one out, take that one out. So yeah, it's like we don't even have to talk. I love that we don't even have to talk about Buddhism, because you just every part of your reality is
because
it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, at the end, it's not Buddhism is just like a word.
Right.
Like and by just the word, it has no meanings at all. We give the meanings to the words.
Yeah.
So, and with the words, we can have many concepts, many ideas about how it is. But Buddhism is more about the lasting values, about Buddhism is about being happy without depending on the external condition and how to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding that the life that we are experiencing here and now, it is like depends on conditions and is impermanence. So all the conditions will change, the experience will change, and then what brings us happiness now, tomorrow maybe will not bring happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you understand this, and you try to look happiness where it is really, then you can find something lasting,
Mm-hmm.
All the Disneyland of the external world, it is not important anymore. You can just play with it. Don't take it so serious.
Mm-hmm.
Try to help others to see this.
Yeah, it's much less a religion or a dogma than it is a philosophy.
Yeah, it is not at all.
And I know, but it isn't really, but it is the way it is seen. If you ask people, like,
because
they're a Buddhist country, they're a Christian country, they're a Muslim
I
country.
recommend to really to try to understand.
Yeah.
Because if not, it's in the surface.
Right.
And Buddhism is so rich that if you just put it in the box of a religion or a dogma or belief, you lost everything.
And so you mentioned you and Anna have like traveled to different Buddhist places in the world.
To different Buddhist centers of our lineage.
Okay. Of your lineage.
Yes.
Which is what?
Diamond Way lineage or Vajrayana. Vajrayana is the Tibetan name. Is one of the 4 main schools in Tibet. And Vajrayana, the translation means Diamond Way. Diamond Way.
Diamond Way. Yeah.
Diamond Way.
And what's the significance of it?
Well, it's like a path like that works through the identification and the confidence with the teacher, with the qualities in the teacher.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Like in the other levels of Buddhism, they work with cause and effect. That Thich Nhat Hanh or mindfulness is cause and effect. Methods based on oneself. That the breathing techniques of meditation, not breathing techniques, it's more about observing the breathing or observing some external object and then you meditate there. But it's for people focusing themselves. But then, like what happens like in a really normal way and spontaneous way is that you start to feel more happy. And then you thinking how to help others, because you cannot be truly happy if next to you people are suffering.
And if you're only thinking about yourself all the time.
So then you start to include others, and then there is the Mahayana level, where it's teachings based on compassion and wisdom, how to really help others. And it's not about just the motivation of helping others, but it's also the wisdom to know how to do it. And the compassion is from the perspective where you see everyone, the potential they have. It's not that you see others and say, oh, poor you, look how pity situation, No, not from this side. You see everyone as all the qualities, because from a Buddhist perspective, we all has these Buddha qualities. All we have shiny.
Boy, that's such a hard thing to see sometimes.
Everyone.
Everyone.
And we see this way. And maybe in the beginning it's a little bit more harder, no? But one trained to focus in the qualities. And maybe if you find something, at least you try to find a t-shirt that you like it, and then you put your attention then in the things you like, not in the dislikes. And then, there is this Vajrayana level where
Vajrayana is
Yes, where we see
the Diamond Way.
Yes, where we see the teacher and we see his qualities, and we have this confidence that the qualities that the teacher has, you have it also.
It's so like a reflection.
Yes. Yes. For this is so important, the teacher. In the other 2 vehicles is not as important as in the Vajrayana way. And
so do you have a specific teacher?
Yes, of course.
Are you allowed to say their name?
Of course.
Share with us.
Lama Ole Nidal, yes. And Hana, yes. Okay. And 16th Karmapa or 17th Karmapa now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's us.
Deeply grateful, deeply.
Yeah, there's a lot of respect there.
Yeah. Yeah, it changed completely our lives, everything.
It's interesting. It actually is somewhat of a reflection of my own I guess philosophy or spirituality is I have a teacher as well.
Yep.
Amachi from India, different, lineage, Hinduism, whatever. But also that's kind of the way I approach, people ask me like, well, she's your teacher. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't really hang out with her much, it's just that the things that she reflects to me
Mm-hmm.
are qualities that I want to, that I see like in myself. It's like, it's like, help when I sit like in my meditation or I chant my mantra, and I'm looking at, reflecting upon our connection, it's just because I'm seeing her and like the work she does and how I could be more like that, or I
Mm-hmm.
am like that, like
Mm-hmm.
you're saying, but I could focus more on that.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
good reminder, the teacher.
yeah, that's really beautiful. And you are, so you guys moved to Latvia, what, like 4 years ago?
3 years.
3 years ago. And you had a baby since you were here.
We have our son Noah,
Uh huh.
and then Kala born here in our house.
Right in the house.
Yes, in the house.
Okay, yeah. And why did you choose Latvia? I'm just curious. How
Uh,
did you find this area?
okay, well, we found the place because of the documentary of Netflix, and
The Stevens.
the documentary Netflix of
Oh,
Zac Efron, Down to Earth.
Down to Earth. Right,
Yes.
right, 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 right.
So it was the pandemic time, and well, we was like when the pandemic started, we was like 3 months in a house in the beach that a friend of us borrows us like for this time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and when we came back to Escalante, to San Jose, we saw the documentary, and then we call and we have a visit with Karina, and we
Amazing.
saw the house, and just we took it. We changed everything from 1 week to another.
Wow. I mean, that was a strong,
Yeah, it was not doubt
no
because
doubt.
in some, yeah, of course, like things how everything was, no, in that time,
Right.
and being in the city, and always I was telling to Anna, no, like I want to live in a kind of a condominium where our childs can play outside safely, a pool, where
Man.
we can get to know our neighbors. I was not imagining that something like Ecovia exists. And when the COVID appears and we came, everything has sense, no? Like it is the place where we want to live.
Amazing.
And then it was not easy to take the decision because the financial was a little bit tight,
Sure.
and we was not having any income. We was having some savings, and we already like we bought our car like when the pandemic just start. And then I was telling to Anna, maybe it's too much, now the car, expensive house than before. We have no money. I don't know when it's going to change, but we have a lot of trust. And everything just came together, click, 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 click. And yeah, we're still here, and things are going like amazing. I just compare everything that we are living like a dream
Hmm.
because it's so magical, so special, so beautiful that when you go out there, now that we was in Europe, no, or you go to San Jose, like it is like a kind of a magic bubble, where we are, no, and what is happening. So really happy to be here.
That's really cool that you have like a partnership and a family where
Mhm.
you feel that like you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
a magic bubble
yeah,
around
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. No, it's like that.
That's so cool. Oh, it was just something to work towards for sure. Or
Yeah, at the end, everything is a state of mind.
yes, this is what I'm
Yeah.
understanding. And I'm curious. I really enjoy practicing Buddhist meditation. I mean, do you guys do meditation, I
Yeah, we
guess?
do meditation every week already for 2 years.
How long of a session?
No, it takes like 20 minutes, half an hour, and
But it's a
and
silent
no,
meditation?
no, no, no. It's
Guided.
guided
Okay.
meditation, and yeah, it's really beautiful.
I'll come sometime.
Yeah,
I
you should
haven't made
come.
it yet. I know
You should
I
come.
see the invites.
Yeah, yeah.
I did, one time when I was living in Northern California, I went to a Buddhist um monastery or like a center,
Mhm.
and the land of city of 10,000 Buddhas it's called. And it was an old mental hospital that they converted into a Buddhist center.
Interesting.
Very interesting. And yeah, it was this really specific. I don't know if it's a specific school of Buddhism, but like, there was some kind of service almost like a church service at first, and I kind of didn't understand what was going on, so I didn't really pay attention. But then afterwards, the men and the women split up. Men went one room, women went another, and there was this room with like a racing track, like a running track in the middle around the room with a bunch of little cubbies, kind of like spaces.
This looks weird.
It was very interesting. But we all and we're like running in a circle with the monks.
And everyone was crazy jumping around,
No, yeah,
making
no,
weird
just,
songs like
no, we're running in a circle, and then they click the little, and then we all stopped, and then they like, okay, now go to your. The idea was to get your energy out.
Okay, this doesn't sound Buddhist.
It is Buddhist, but
Okay,
it's a
it is interesting.
different.
Okay, is someone making his own way of?
I don't know.
Because sounds really interesting.
I'm gonna have to study it. But then we went and sat in a silent meditation
Okay.
in our own space, and for like an hour, and the monks would come around and like kind of adjust our posture. And
Okay, I don't know.
it's a different thing though.
Yeah, quite different. I don't know.
This is a different school of Buddhism. So you are also. I talked to some people that were visiting the other day, and they're coming here to join you in creating a Buddhist center in the new La Via San Mateo. Can you talk a little bit about it?
About the friends or the?
No, about the
we don't
need to talk about them. No, like let's talk about just like
I love these people. They are amazing.
Yeah,
they are wonderful people, and it's really interesting because we just meet. We didn't knew each other before, but we are already like best friends. We have such a strong connection, such a meaningful feeling between each other. It is fantastic. It is wonderful. It is. I am really happy that they are here, and I know that they're gonna bring so much benefit to everything that is happening around.
Are they living here? They moved here?
Yeah, it's the plan. They come to check it out, and they are here, and they love it, and they are amazed by the project of purchasing a land and building a Buddhist center, and they have a lot of power, a lot of clarity.
Wow.
They bring a lot of inspiration from all the levels. So
I guess that's the thing about it would be antithesis to a Buddhist center if there was anybody like, who was really like, it was theirs.
This is like really interesting, because when we start like to keep the activity, in my mind, because it took almost a year like to start the activity, no?
Were you the one that kind of was like, I think this would be beneficial to our community?
Yeah, it just happens by itself, like we just.
But somebody has to be the one that's like writing here's the vision, let's put it out there.
We saw the potential, we shared it with the friends, and just the people was getting inspired, and we was working together. And well, I having a little bit more of clarity, I keep more the activity, but this is something that I am not doing myself. We are doing all together.
Right.
And it's really interesting because when just in the beginning of starting, it took me almost a year because I was thinking who I am to do what, let's focus in the meditation, me and my wife. And then a friend, Marcela from Ecovila, asked us, what you do? I like you, like what you are doing, no? And then she started to get inspired, no? And then we say, okay, let's meditate together. And
so she's involved in the Buddhist Center as well?
Yes.
Okay. Marcela Mora, who we've had on the podcast.
Yeah, and I was in my mind thinking like, but how are you gonna do it? No, how I do, no? Like what? And then appears a message when I was having this question, just sitting in the sofa, open the mobile phone, and then a sentence appeared of 16th Karmapa that was saying something like, even if you benefit one being, you keep going. This is the Bodhisattva way. You should do it with any sense of discouragement. And this ground me so much. Because then from this moment, it was never about expecting many people coming, just one person. And this is what keeps us grounded. It is not about, expecting 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 people. It really doesn't matter, just one.
But the idea is to have a community of fellow
No. The idea is just like wherever must happen, it will happen in his own. We have no personal interest. No personal interest at all. No
Okay.
expectations.
Okay, no expectations, but what is forming? What does it look like right now? As of
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. Well, it is okay. Right now, we are purchasing a land.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it has been a really magical and interesting process
Mm-hmm.
of finding the place, letting go, conditions coming together, letting go in somehow.
As a community, you're doing this.
Yeah, like in the beginning was more like Anna, me, trying to include all the friends in Costa Rica, like by like saying, look the potential here, and but of course in the beginning, like here everything was like so fresh, like in the really beginning for a year almost, like I don't know, like 2 3 people was coming to meditate, sometimes for weeks anyone, you know. And so in the very beginning was a lot of Anna and me, like trusting
Holding the
trusting
space.
the potential,
Holding the
and
container.
just going with the flow of the potential.
Sure.
And if in some moment the potential stuck, okay, we just let go and that's it.
Mm.
But all of the time, like the magic was keep going, and then we say, okay, let's explore, let's include like the friends with more experience from San Jose, from Costa Rica, and just keeping exploring. And well, we arrived to a point where we have a land in Ecovilla San Mateo, and all the friends in Costa Rica support us.
Mm-hmm.
So we are a national project.
Okay.
And now it's coming to meditate, I don't know, 12, 13 people almost every
Like
week.
other Buddhist centers are
Yeah, like from
supporting
our lineage in San Jose, they support us. So
financially and
yeah,
energetically.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
So now we are a national project.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we are. And
Because there's a national organization.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Oh, very
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And
Oh, I see.
and then we have the land by the river in front of the school, like with really good conditions that can be accessible for everyone. Like from the really first moment, we was like, not looking for what is the best land for ourselves. We was thinking what is the best land to keep the activity going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it was not so many options.
Right. When you
Because
have a criteria,
yeah,
it makes things easy.
yeah, and it was like some changes on the way, and now we know the place, and then Anna and me we was because the idea was to be in one part of the community in Ecovilla San Mateo called Almendro by the river.
Uh-huh.
But then they offered us to change the lot to the corner, more like not in the middle of this area, but more in the side. So then we was like thinking like that we need to also move our lot to be close to the activity. So
Uh-huh.
the lot that we love, we let go in order
Oh.
to be close.
Oh, boy.
Yes, because it's not about our personal interest. And if we keep this view, this pure view, everything is going to work out. Everything is going to go good.
You have a lot of faith.
Trust, confidence,
Trust. Yes.
confidence, and no expectation at the same time. So it really doesn't matter how it
If you don't have
goes.
expectations,
We are happy anyway.
you'll
so
never be disappointed.
Exactly, we are gonna do it one way or another. Because it's what we really want. We want to help others, like with our methods that what we know that we check and they work. So
Beautiful. Okay, well, that's a good intro to the it's really fascinating to me learning more about the local Buddhist community and kind of like what I'm excited for what's happening, and I'm excited to come and join you
please,
at a
please
meditation
come.
and see how this project develops.
Yeah.
If people are interested in joining your meditation or
They are
getting
always everyone is welcome.
how do they get a hold?
Yeah, we keep it activity every Tuesday and every Tuesday in our house.
Okay.
Beautiful meditation, beautiful company, and snacks afterwards.
If you're local, every Tuesday at the Sansaloni family house.
Yes.
And for people who aren't local, is there a resource like you could point them towards, like
Yeah, the Diamond Way Buddhism.
the Diamond Way Buddhism?
Yeah,
Okay.
Diamond Way Buddhism. They will find centers around the world because we have around 650 centers around the world in more than 60 countries.
Amazing, amazing. Is there a way? Do you want people to reach out to you? They can reach out to you if they're interested.
Yeah, if they want, yes.
How?
Of
What's
course.
what's the your Instagram or
Buddhismo
Facebook?
San Mateo. They can find us.
Buddhism
San Mateo.
San Mateo on Instagram.
Yes, Instagram
Website. Perfect. Oh, so good to have you here, brother. Thank you, Carlos Sansaloni.
You're welcome, my friend.
Another great episode of La Vida Verde. I feel happier just sitting here next to you. It's like you emanate happiness. This is La Vida Verde podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Human. We're at Finca Vida Verde. We release episodes every Tuesday. We are on YouTube. If you want to watch us and see what's going on, you can listen to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We're on Facebook at La Vida Verde, Finca Vida Verde. We're on Instagram at Finca Vida Verde CR. There's so many. I got like too many. And we're on and of course, if you love these podcasts, you want to support us, we would love your support to offset the costs. Patreon.com/La Vida Verde podcast. We'll be back next Tuesday with another episode. Thank you so much, brother. And we'll see you next time. Pura vida.